The brand new silver screen pack screams 20s Gatsby style vibe, or we could take this and make it a lot more colorful Googie vibes of the 50s, 60s and 70s, which is exactly what this area is all about. In today's episode, we're going to build out my Googie town in my German Black Forest park. And if you question how that is going together, well, that is a good question, but I'm gonna explain that to you. And at the end, we're having a stroll in my area, which is really cool and fun to look at, with a very nice outlook to where we are going next episode. So stick with me, get some popcorn and have some fun. Alright, welcome to today's episode. It's time-lapse. There's a lot of S sounds in here. Whatever, I just want to get you in the mood. So I started this Googie area quite a while ago. Basically, when the toy box set came out, I thought that would be a good fit. Then we moved on to something else in between, and we just returned here lately. And now, with a couple of great rides as an introduction for here, I feel so confident to finish that area. Now, today's episode is all about getting the vibe back into the right direction. If you remember last episode, and it doesn't matter if you haven't been here, obviously always I recommend to check that out before you watch this one, but if you're new and you just wanted to get in, well, here's the thing. Last episode I completely rewrote the story of the park, so to say. So our main idea was that the old entrance area with like the parking lot, you can see bits of it on the left hand side, has been during the time, when they decided to build a new area, taken over to form the Googie land. And as I started the Googie land a lot smaller, I expanded quite a bit, and now it was time to fit in a couple more rides to make it really the big new attraction that the park would have opened after its existence, and after the high budget they have gained over the time. So what we are doing here is we are filling in a couple of walls, and honestly that was part of me exploring what I can do with the pack in terms of getting not too Art Deco-ish, but also Googie vibe-ish in. I find it increasingly hard to get a differentiation in between, not only about like all the colors, because the main difference that Googie would have, like it's not the main difference, but one very significant difference is that Googie uses a lot more organic shapes, a lot of round flowing shapes, while Art Deco also has a lot of roundness in it, but on a more symmetrical, classical kind of level. And the problem with like that is that for Planet Coaster, the Art Deco vibe works fantastically well, but like this kind of organic flowing shaping is very hard to do in the game. So I try to find a bit of my own creative liberty here and just build something in between. I still like it quite a lot, We don't always have to pretend that things are like exactly like they would be in real life. That's the beauty of a theme park anyways. We can do what we want. So it is a Art Deco area, influenced a lot with Googie, if you will, whatever. And so I went on to style also the main attraction of this area, which is the single rail coaster. It's an addition, obviously, from the last pack we had, but even though we do have the new Gen Vekoma Flyer, I really thought about replacing this one here with the new Gen Vekoma Flyer, but I ended up feeling that this single rail coaster fits a lot better with the vibe that the park over here offers in that corner of it. And so yeah, we went on to dress also the queue. Now, don't confuse this a bit all over the place building with structure. No, I'm just kidding. With no structure, I wanted to say. Actually, this is a very fun way of filling in an area. So I'm jumping between certain areas, I'm filling in certain gaps to see how all these things work in relation. And as I'm working with a lot of layers in this area, honestly, we have certain things, as you can see, going downhill a little in almost like a basement kind of style. Some things will go up a little bit on some terraces and so on. I needed to just get all the things in place to understand where things fit and where they don't, and how high I can raise certain ceilings, and all these kind of things to have like a basic idea. You'll see in the real-time part that this already works significantly well. I have a very good feeling about this area in general. It's the opposite of Han Solo's feeling. It's a very good feeling indeed, and I must say that I'm getting more and more confident with a lot of the pieces in game. It's a bit of a funny thing. I I don't think I've ever had that situation, but thanks to all these updates in the last couple of weeks, I feel almost overwhelmed by the amount of new pieces. So let's get that straight. In the span of the last 3 months, we got over 1,300 new pieces in the game with both new sets, with the Parade set and with the Silver Screen pack containing obviously from the Parade theme, the Small Town theme, the Silver Screen theme, I like the Art Deco theme, and the Studios theme, even though the Studio obviously is something I know from the first game. So a couple of these returning pieces are incredibly great because we've used them for 8 years straight. So we know our pieces, that's great. But they work also very fine in this game, which is something I'm very happy about. You can see I then spent a lot of time on the coaster, on the queue area of the single rail coaster. It's not yet fully done, and there's a reason to that. In the next episode, we'll have to dress up the ugly bits in the background. There's going to be like a pretty park border, and I want to do something about this queue so it's not too much on this like parking lot area, but I'll get to that in the next episode because the next episode will feature a lot of cool things as well. As I said already a couple of times, I've got so many ideas. I've got too many ideas at the moment. It's almost hurting. I could play 8-9 hours a day and I still wouldn't be able to cover all of these things I want to in a month. It's rather ridiculous at the moment. And great packs like the Silver Screen pack, they don't necessarily help because they spark new ideas, and I am in generally such a great mood about this game. There is a video coming, which I'm also working on, about Planet Coaster 2 again, because I have to do it. It's such a great moment to do that video. But also, it's always a great moment to rip apart things if you don't feel them, and that's what I felt with the queue over here. I needed to find a better way to integrate the queue and make it look a bit more realistic. I wanted to also integrate like a tiny bit of almost like a plaza-esque area in the back. I will go on and put some vending machines in there. Stuff like I do way too seldom, and I will get some of these really cool drinking fountains that Taggy, for example, did, or maybe I'm going to do my own variant because that's also something that gets increasingly more important here in Europe too. We're getting more and more hot summers and dry summers, which especially in theme parks will cause some stress. Just mentioning the Terron extended queue area. For those of you you know. That is something we have to get into. And so do palm trees and stuff survive much better in our area as well, and which is why I went on to get the vibe a bit more also over the foliage. We've used a couple more like bolder colors by using some cool things, but especially at this moment in time, I have to talk about one topic. In case you haven't seen yesterday's coverage of the brand new feature focus of Planet Zoo 2, they have officially confirmed that they have changing seasons or dynamic seasons in the game, which means that the foliage in the game is going to be automatically changing from summer to winter and vice versa, and you have like falling leaves, growing leaves, and even no leaves in winter while full bloom in summer. Even the grasses will have flowers and stuff in the summer and like mushrooms and stuff in autumn. Which is ridiculous. I've never thought that this is going to happen, and yet I'm going to get more and more jealous of that, because not only is the foliage in Planet Coaster still miles behind the one in Planet Zoo, which that's the first fix that I would see. Like, honestly, give me foliage from Planet Zoo. That is already something I would love, but that would be a massive improvement. Like having they seem to have that in the engine. Getting a major upgrade in the future with like dynamic seasons for Planet Coaster 2, I guess that would just leap this game forward even so much more. Okay, we're building the cinema over here. One ride that is really cool and is obviously a theme park classic. I have a really cool idea what we're going to have in the cinema playing, but we have to do something for it. I have an idea for the flying coaster. I have no idea if I will realize that. I have no idea in which time span. So if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. But the idea, I tell you, this is fantastic. I made some displays over here in which we're going to put some custom posters, actually. I have to just create these posters first in Photoshop or whatever. I didn't do that yet. I haven't done. There's like so much content at the moment I'm doing, but I'm also preparing, and yeah, It's insane. And also, we are getting closer and closer to October, and I yet have to finish my Planet Zoo series, which is also, my head is exploding from all the stuff we have at hand right now, and it feels almost like the next Jurassic World Evolution DLC would be around the corner. Crazy. But the cinema over here, my approach was to go with like this really cool pattern what we had. I'm not sure what exactly this piece is, but it feels like a sound, like noise reduction piece, like this kind of, these foam wall pieces that you use in studios and so on. I love that, so I wanted to use that. And I wanted to do something that's also rather common in cinemas. We are also going to enclose the seating area a little bit so that we have like two separate ways to the left and right where realistically entrances and exits would be. I needed to juggle that a bit differently though. And I'm also making a space for like a custom kind of projector room in the background so that like where it would actually project the movie onto the screen, I guess. Even though the in-game is a LED screen that wouldn't do it. But I'm like a big fan of these like typical kind of screen situations, which is why I have that done. You'll see in the real-time part it's not fully done. I have to still put some lights in and so on, but that is also because the roof isn't fully in place. Yeah, a lot of things. It's just like it took me forever, and there's so much I have yet to do that I just generally can't tell you how much work that was. But why shall I still talk? There's a lot to discover in the real-time part, so hop over and enjoy the real-time part because it is actually pretty good. So have fun. Here we are at the entrance of our wonderful Googie town. As you can tell, things have changed from last episode. We're just going to have a little look. Oh, look at that. The coaster just passing by. Woohoo! There we go. Wonderful. But that was a hard cut into the wall. We are going on to this area over here. And you can see I have done a lot of things off screen actually as well. So there is a branding for our coaster over here. This is the Rail Runner. We've got a little sign over here, just about to see the car in the background. And then we've got that big sign on top of the roof, which at nighttime, I'm going to show you once we're done, I'll jump into normal camera. I'm going to show you at nighttime. There's like a little special with it. I'm not fully done with the nighttime view yet, so I'm just going to show a couple of things. There we have our salty popcorn. Not even sure if I have it in the time lapse or not, but that's kind of combating the little fight between salty and sweet popcorn. Whoever is in that fight, welcome, I guess. And yeah, this is our already existing restaurant, just dressed up a little bit more, and our brand new area, the Cinestar, the Googie Theater. And as you can tell over here, at the moment now playing Perry Hotter in the Chamber of the Art Decos, we have Dirt is Dancing, Time of the Wife, Extended Cut, and the Go-Ho G featuring Jackie Chan by Miyazaki. And by the way, if you're wondering what that is, Yazaki is basically like a bit of a Bavarian slang. Try to mock into that. Be a fun thing, like if there's a Miyazaki film featuring Bavaria, who knows? But that was just like a little fun thing I wanted to do. We've got our little ticket booth here on the side, and we also have like a tiny bit of an idea that there could be some sort of entertainer meetup, whatnot, or you can take a photo spot over here, sit yourself down and have like a little photo in the park. I still need to get into some signage for the background. Normally you have like something Fall Lake Forest, Googie Town or whatnot as like a theming behind, so you can take like a photo. That needs to go, but there are like tiny things I need to clean up, but oh my god, that took so much time. Everything over here, I will need to go one time over. I have an idea for certain things, but that has to be done in a different episode because there is different things needed also. And if we go in here, this is rather tight, but what that's also meant like this, and we need to do some posters, but I want to do some of myself this time around, so they are not yet in. And then you go around the corner and that door isn't fully in, but if you go in, this is our cinema looks. We've got our projector there. The lights going through the walls. I really love if they, oh my god, what was that? Am I in this? Oh my god, I just went in the screen. This is the cinema. I need to still do some dim lights in here, and I wanted to do the projector, but that all needs to be triggered, and that I haven't done the trigger sequence yet. So this is where we then go out, and there is not yet done a lot. There's going to be like a tiny kiosk here where you exit, but as you can tell, this corner of the park still needs to be done. This is also where the entrance to the pool is going to be, and I will completely rework this because there is something in my head that I want to do, and I just couldn't do it this time around. Okay, as promised, we're going to jump out of this camera, and I'm going to turn it nighttime so you can see something I have done. And we are just going to go all the way to nighttime, 10 p.m. and we're just going to quickly wait for the coaster to start, and you can hopefully see that then. As I said, the lighting is not fully done yet, despite the fact the game looks quite good at nighttime. But yeah, I've talked about that more than enough though. Like, have a look now what happens. So there it passes by, and then the railgunner sign is just lit up briefly a couple of times. So that is just like following the coaster down into that element and just making sure that this is the one. So we don't have it all the time lit up, but we will have some smaller lights over here, and making these neon lights come on only when the coaster goes. Maybe I'm gonna, do some other stuff. Also here, this is kind of overpowered. I have to tone down some of the things. I wasn't aware that everything glows in here. I quite like it, but I might need to adjust some of the colors then at nighttime or so. That cinema is relatively crazy lit over here, and then the middle isn't, so I have to do something about this. So if the middle looks a bit better, it wouldn't necessarily be too bad, to be honest, because cinemas and stuff, they do get quite bright, and all these kind of things are great. I just need to, there are a couple of things I would love to be changed in this game in terms of lighting, and this is why I'm still hesitant to do these nighttime areas too much, but I definitely should. It's just too much. It's just too good to not do. But anyways, let's quickly go a last time into the normal camera mode and just camera to the time of day. So, just to give you a brief heads up what's happening in the next episode. I'm going to finish the area with all the details. There's going to be the roof fully done, the exterior here, and the exit of the cinema is going to be done. There might actually be an introduction of one more ride in this area, but I'm not 100% sure yet. There's going to be this wonderful ground control is going to be made. I have finally found a solution for my little issue, because I had no idea what to do with it, but now I have an idea what to do with it, which is going to be a bit more complicated, but hopefully worth it. And then Googie Town can be called a day, and I have some more ideas what to do with the silver screen pack and funky things in Planet Coaster 2. At the moment, the biggest issue I have is to contain myself from the excitement and all the ideas I have, and somehow to focus myself on finishing stuff and not jumping right into the next project, just because I've got so many ideas. But now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Googie Town. If you've got some really cool examples of Googie architecture and Googie stuff and examples what to do with Googie, let me know, because I'm running out of inspiration, because it's so certain. Like, Googie is so different to Art Deco, yet it isn't. There is a lot of similarities, yet there is a lot of differences. And yeah, I was trying my best to capture the essence of the more colorful Googie and stuff. I know a direction I could go, but I certainly don't want to go into that, like, kind of Google color, if you will. There is a certain reason for that, which is a bit more poppy. I wanted to lean a little bit more back onto these nude colors, or like desaturated is maybe the wrong word. It's kind of saturated, but a lot more in this kind of plaster, if that makes sense. It's not plaster. What's the name for that? I forgot. But whatever. I hope you get the idea. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think, and also make sure to like, subscribe, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to stick with me. There's a lot of good stuff coming in the future, and I can't wait to get the people back in, because they make this area feel much more alive. I can't wait for that. So until then, have a good time. Oh, by the way, last but not least, obviously the wait times are also introduced here. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly enjoyed it quite a lot, and hope I could translate that to you. But until next time around, have a good one, and